This is a mind-bending book that changed my life. It is Nassim Taleb's Antifragile. This is a book that teaches you a whole new way of looking at life, risk, and success. So, let's break it down in a way that'll stick with you long after you've finished watching this video. See yourself as a kid playing with building blocks. You've got 3 towers in front of you. The first one is made of delicate glass blocks. That's your fragile tower. One wrong move and it shatters. The second tower is made of sturdy plastic blocks. That's your robust tower. It can take a hit and stay standing. But the third tower? It's magical. Every time you knock it down, it rebuilds itself taller and stronger. That's your anti-fragile tower. This is the core idea of Taleb's book. In this world, we've got fragile things that break under stress, robust things that resist change, and then there's this whole other category. Anti-fragile things that actually get better when life throws them curveballs. Now, you might be thinking, that's cool and all, but what's it got to do with me? Well, stick with me, because this idea is about to change how you see everything. Let's start with your body. When you exercise, you're not being gentle with your muscles. You're stressing them out, causing tiny tears. But your body doesn't just repair those tears. It builds the muscle back stronger. That's anti-fragility in action, right there in your own skin. Taleb takes this idea and runs with it. He says we should be looking for this anti-fragile quality in all areas of life. Our careers, our relationships, our societies. But here's the kicker. We often do the exact opposite. We try to create perfect, stress-free environments, thinking we're making things better. But Taleb argues we're actually making ourselves more fragile. Think about it like this. If you never let a kid fall down, they'll never learn to pick themselves up. If you never face any challenges at work, you'll never develop the skills to handle bigger responsibilities. We need some disorder, some randomness, some stress to grow and improve. Now, Taleb isn't saying we should go looking for trouble. He's saying we should set ourselves up to benefit from the trouble that inevitably comes our way. It's like being a surfer. You can't control the waves, but you can learn to ride them. Let's dig into some of the big ideas in Antifragile that can help us become better wave riders in life. First up, we've got the barbell strategy. No, Taleb isn't telling you to hit the gym, although that wouldn't hurt. The barbell strategy is all about avoiding the middle ground and focusing on the extremes. Picture a barbell. You've got weight on both ends with nothing in the middle. Taleb says this is how we should approach risk in our lives. On one end, you play it super safe. On the other end, you take some big, calculated risks. For example, let's say you've got some money to invest. The barbell strategy would say, put most of your money in the safest possible investments, but then take a small portion and invest it in high-risk, high-reward opportunities. This way, you're protected from losing everything, but you're also giving yourself a shot at big gains. This isn't just about money, though. You can apply the barbell strategy to your career. Maybe you keep a stable day job, that's your safe end of the barbell, while working on a risky but potentially game-changing side project, that's your risky end. You're not betting everything on one roll of the dice, but you're also not playing it so safe that you miss out on big opportunities. Next up, let's talk about optionality. This is Taleb's secret weapon for thriving in an unpredictable world. Optionality is all about giving yourself choices, creating opportunities for good things to happen while protecting yourself from the bad. Think of it like this. You're at a buffet. You don't have to eat everything, but you've got the option to try whatever looks good. The more options you have, the more likely you are to find something you love. In life, increasing your optionality might mean learning new skills, meeting different kinds of people, or trying out various side hustles. You're not committing to any one path, but you're opening doors that could lead to amazing places. Here's a real-world example. Let's say you're in college. Instead of hyper-focusing on one narrow career path, you take classes in a variety of subjects that interest you. You join different clubs, intern at different types of companies. You're increasing your optionality. Maybe you discover a passion you never knew you had. Or maybe you make a connection that leads to your dream job. By keeping your options open, you're setting yourself up to benefit from the unexpected. Now, let's tackle a big one, the black swan theory. Taleb introduced this idea in an earlier book, but it's crucial to understanding Antifragile. A black swan is an event that comes as a surprise, has a major impact, and is often inappropriately rationalized after the fact. Think about some of the biggest changes in the world: the internet, 9/11, the 2008 financial crisis. These were black swan events. They weren't predicted. They changed everything, and afterwards everyone acted like they should have seen it coming. Taleb's point is that these black swan events are actually more common and more impactful than we think, and trying to predict them is a fool's errand. Instead, we should focus on making ourselves anti-fragile, so we can weather these storms and even benefit from them. This brings us to another key concept: skin in the game. Taleb argues that people make better decisions and create more robust systems when they have a personal stake in the outcome. It's the difference between a captain going down with the ship and executives getting golden parachutes after tanking a company. When people don't have skin in the game, they're more likely to take stupid risks or make decisions that benefit them in the short term but cause problems down the line. Taleb says we should be wary of taking advice from people who don't have to live with the consequences of that advice. For example, think about financial advisors who get paid whether their clients make money or not. They don't have true skin in the game. But what if their pay was directly tied to how well their clients' investments performed? You can bet they'd be a lot more careful with their recommendations. This idea of skin in the game extends to all areas of life. It's about taking responsibility, being accountable, and aligning incentives. It's about walking the walk, not just talking the talk. Now, let's talk about something Taleb calls the Lindy effect. This is a fascinating idea that can help us figure out which things are likely to stick around and which are just passing fads. The Lindy effect says that for non-perishable things like ideas, technologies, or businesses, the longer something has been around, the longer it's likely to continue existing. It's named after a deli in New York where comedians would gather and discuss which shows were likely to last. Here's how it works. If a book has been in print for 100 years, it's likely to stay in print for another 100 years. If a technology has been used for 50 years, it's likely to be used for another 50 years. The idea is that time is a ruthless editor. The things that stick around for a long time do so because they're truly valuable or important. This doesn't mean new things aren't valuable, but it does suggest we should pay special attention to ideas and practices that have stood the test of time. It's why studying philosophy from ancient Greece can still be incredibly relevant today. The Lindy effect can be a powerful tool for decision-making. When you're trying to decide what skills to learn or what ideas to invest in, consider how long they've been around. The longer their track record, the more likely they are to continue being valuable in the future. Let's shift gears and talk about something Taleb calls via negativa. This is a fancy Latin term for a simple but powerful idea. Sometimes, the best way to improve something is by taking things away, not adding more. Think about sculpting. You don't create a statue by adding more clay. You reveal it by chipping away the excess. Taleb argues that we can apply this principle to many areas of life. In health, via negativa might mean focusing on eliminating unhealthy foods from your diet rather than adding more superfoods. In productivity, it might mean cutting out distractions rather than trying to cram more work into your day. In decision-making, it might mean ruling out bad options rather than endlessly searching for the perfect choice. This principle is powerful because it's often easier to identify what's wrong or harmful than to know exactly what's right or beneficial. By focusing on eliminating the negative, we can often achieve better results with less effort. Now, let's talk about something that might seem counterintuitive at first: the value of randomness and volatility. In a world obsessed with planning and control, Taleb argues that we need to embrace unpredictability. Think about evolution. It's not a smooth, planned process. It's full of random mutations. Most of these mutations are useless or even harmful, but occasionally, one proves to be incredibly beneficial. This randomness is what drives progress and adaptation. Taleb argues that we need to introduce more randomness into our lives and systems. This doesn't mean being reckless, but it does mean leaving room for serendipity and unexpected discoveries. For example, in your career, this might mean occasionally taking on projects outside your comfort zone or attending conferences in fields adjacent to yours. You never know what connections or ideas might spark from these random encounters. In business, it might mean allocating a small portion of resources to experimental projects. Most might fail, but the ones that succeed could be game changers. The key is to create systems that can benefit from randomness while being protected from its downsides. It's about positioning yourself to catch lightning in a bottle. Let's bring all these ideas together and talk about how we can apply them in our daily lives to become more anti-fragile. First, embrace challenges and stress in moderation. Remember, anti-fragile systems get stronger when stressed. This doesn't mean you should seek out hardship for its own sake, but it does mean viewing challenges as opportunities for growth rather than threats to be avoided. Second, diversify your experiences and skills. The more varied your knowledge and capabilities, the more options you have, and the better equipped you are to handle unexpected situations. It's like cross-training for life. Third, focus on building systems rather than achieving goals. Goals are fragile. You either reach them or you don't. Systems are anti-fragile. They can adapt and improve over time. For example, instead of setting a goal to lose 20 pounds, focus on building a system of healthy eating and regular exercise. Fourth, learn to love small failures. Each small failure is a piece of information that can help you improve. It's like the scientific method. Each failed experiment brings you closer to a breakthrough. Fifth, keep your fixed costs low and your options open. This gives you the flexibility to take advantage of opportunities when they arise and weather storms when they hit. Sixth, invest in skills and knowledge that have stood the test of time. Remember the Lindy effect. The classics are classic for a reason. Lastly, always consider the downside. Before making any decision, ask yourself, what's the worst that can happen? If you can survive the worst case scenario, you're free to pursue the upside with confidence. Taleb's ideas in Antifragile aren't just abstract concepts. They're practical tools for navigating an unpredictable world. By applying these principles, we can build lives, careers, and societies that don't just survive in the face of volatility and stress, but actually thrive because of it. Think of it like this. Life is going to throw curveballs at you no matter what. You can't control that, but you can control how you respond. Do you want to be like a fragile glass that shatters at the slightest impact? Or do you want to be like a muscle that gets stronger with each challenge? Becoming anti-fragile isn't about eliminating risk or stress from your life. It's about positioning yourself to benefit from them. It's about building a life that gets better, not worse, when the unexpected happens. So the next time you face a challenge or a setback, remember, this isn't just an obstacle to overcome. It's an opportunity to grow stronger. Embrace it, learn from it, use it to build your anti-fragile life. We are in a world that's constantly changing, and the most valuable skill isn't predicting the future. It's being able to thrive no matter what the future brings. That's what being anti-fragile is all about. So go ahead, take some risks, try new things, embrace a little chaos. You might just find that what doesn't kill you doesn't just make you stronger, it makes you anti-fragile.